I tried this strategy once before, and it worked, I think. It attracted very little hate mail. That's reason enough to do it again. It's been a while since I did it. So I have this app on my phone, and the app makes suggestions for what I should watch or read, and it includes links. So I'm not here to advertise, so I'm not going to tell you what this app is. It's a search engine. I'm just going to go through these headlines and respond to them with a brief comment for each one. Okay, we'll start with a headline from The Economist. Targeting methane ultra emitters could cheaply slow climate change. No, I don't have to read that story to know that that's a lie. There is no way to cheaply or even inexpensively slow climate change. And methane ultra emitters? No. In Vermont, gliding along on natural ice. From the Washington Post. Apparently, this app, or the Washington Post, knows that I'm in Vermont and thought that I might be interested in a story about gliding along on natural ice. No, that just tells me it's cold out there. I don't really like cold out there. Although the temperature, which also shows on this app, says it's 46 degrees, and that's downright balmy for this time of the year. Next up from Live Science, 1.5 million year old fossil rewrites out of Africa theory. I don't know what the out of Africa theory is, except that probably it refers to the fact that humans originated in Africa and spread throughout the world from there. But I don't know. Whatever. Not particularly interesting. 6 months AI and ML program. There is a shortage of 500,000 AI and ML professionals. Make the right move. Now, this is from Texas McCombs. And I know AI is artificial intelligence. I don't know what ML is unless it's Major League, and that doesn't seem to fit. So, from space.com, deep interior of Mars might have led to the loss of the planet's atmosphere. Could be. That looks actually kind of interesting. But I won't stop here and take time to read it and edit that out. Oh, lucky you. The trees grown from spacefaring seeds. From BBC, some seeds were taken in space and brought back, and they were planted, and they grew trees. This from Yahoo, the 15 least visited national parks in the U.S. for beautiful views and adventures without the crowds. That sounds awesome. I'm going to come back later and see what the 15 least visited national parks in the U.S. are, and I'll bet I've been to at least one of them. No need to stay tuned. I won't be filing a complete report. From Scientific American, turbulence equations discovered after century-long quest. So apparently we've been looking for a century for these turbulence equations. I mean, not me, and probably not you. But we found them. Woo! From The Guardian, on my radar, Rose Matafeo's cultural highlights. I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of this person. John Mahoney's favorite episode of Frasier from Screen Rant. Apparently John Mahoney was one of the people who played in the television series Frasier. From CNET, thank you, Wordle. It's been fun. I think Wordle is one of those games that you can play on an app, and maybe it's disappearing. It seems like every time I read through these things, I find out that I don't know anything about popular culture. I used to know a lot of that stuff. From Open Culture, Nikola Tesla's predictions for the 21st century, the rise of smartphones and wireless, the demise of coffee, and more. Really? Coffee's gone? I had no idea. Seems I'm making coffee every morning for my partner still, so apparently she hasn't gotten the memo that coffee is done. From the New York Times, archives found possible classified material in boxes returned by Trump. So apparently President Donald Trump returned some boxes, some archives, and within them are classified material. Gee, what a surprise. Not all of us can keep up with every little detail. I imagine he had quite a few boxes he was returning. From Marca, which I've never even heard of. MARCA. Manchester United players compare coaching setup to Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is a wonderful series that we watched the first couple of seasons of. And apparently Manchester United, which is a big-time soccer program in England, where they call it football, wants to compare their coaching setup. From SciPost, new psychology study provides insight into why religion boosts meaning in life. That's interesting. Religion has not boosted my meaning in life. In fact, I have found my meaning, my purpose, my reason for being here on earth without religion. I'm religion-free and happy about it. So I don't think religion is necessary, at least not for me and for other people I know, to find meaning in one's life. But maybe for some people it is. How billions in infrastructure funding could worsen global warming, from the New York Times. Well, I'll tell you right now how civilization is a heat engine, as reported by Professor Tim Garrett at the University of Utah in at least 5 peer-reviewed papers. We know that civilization is a heat engine. From Kim Commando, which I'd never heard of, a major change is coming to your Gmail inbox. From MSN, amazing medieval cities, sites, and attractions around the world. Got to get people back on the airplanes again, traveling all over the world. Not that I think that's a bad idea, by the way, but the economy is faltering, and advertising for travel is one way to pick up the steam. From Science Alert, behold the most accurate virtual simulation of our universe to date. Looks interesting. There's quite a few things that I'm going to go back on after I'm done making this video and check these out. From space.com, asteroid Ryugu samples now on Earth reveal inner workings of the space rock. Well, that's kind of cool. I doubt if we can figure out what the rock was thinking. I doubt if the rock was thinking. But interesting nonetheless. From Inc. magazine, 5 ways to keep tabs on your remote employees without micromanaging them. When I worked for the Nature Conservancy at their home office for a year in 1999-2000, I took a 1-year leave of absence from the University of Arizona and worked for the Nature Conservancy in their home office. And I had the worst micromanager in planetary history, I'm sure that was the case. She insisted that my office be right next to hers, and there was just a window between us that was the size of the wall. And even working that close to her, she still had to call me or stop in several times every day to tell me to click my pencil twice instead of 3 times or whatever. It was astonishing what a micromanager this woman was. And so I didn't have much incentive to stay there under those conditions. From Insider, map life expectancy for each U.S. state based on new CDC report. And let's see, where I live in Vermont, here's a dark green, and that's the highest of 4 categories. My life expectancy is 79.5 to 80.9 years. No way, of course, given abrupt, irreversible climate change, that I'm going to make it that long on the planet, but it's interesting to see that Vermont ranks among the highest life expectancy states, along with much of the western United States and a majority of the states in New England. Well, isn't that interesting? From the New York Times, again, winter camping, no bugs, few people, and the cold. It's the last one that keeps me from winter camping. I'm a huge fan of the no bugs and the few people, but the cold? Ugh. I've had enough of that, thanks. From Screen Rant, again, 10 feel-good TV shows according to Reddit. Well, I'm not really interested in television to begin with. And Reddit as a source for anything? Come on, you got to be kidding me. The worst possible place to get your information is from troll-filled Reddit. I mean, there might be worse social media platforms. I don't know. I don't use any of them to speak of. And But Reddit is awful and everybody there is anonymous, so why would you trust them? From CNN poll, a growing number of people lack confidence in American elections. Really? Really, people are finally figuring out that United States elections are a complete sham? I noticed quite a long time ago. From Outside Magazine, what it takes to row across an ocean. Arms, I'd say. Really good muscular arms, and legs for that matter, because it's pretty much a whole body exercise experience, rowing done correctly. Wow. From Harvard Business Review, we need time to rehabilitate from the trauma of the pandemic. Wait, the pandemic is over? Is that what you're saying with this headline? We need time to rehabilitate from the trauma of the pandemic? The pandemic is not over. As nearly as I can tell, it's just getting started. Omicron and the second variant of Omicron, which is far worse than the original variant of Omicron, and we're not done. Omicron is not the last variant that is going to show up. From the Los Angeles Times, getting paid on Venmo or Cash App, there's a tax for that. Of course there is. This is America. Disaster capitalism run amok. We got a tax on everything. You want to blink? There's a tax on that. You want to breathe? There's a tax on that. You want to eat? There's a tax on that. You want to drink water? There's a tax on that. There's a tax on everything. Unbelievable. And from World Atlas, 13 best small towns in Maine. I bet there's a lot of them. From The Verge, Chan Zuckerberg Initiative announces tens of millions in funding for climate tech. Climate tech. Chan Zuckerberg must be Mark Zuckerberg's wife. That's just a guess. Maybe it's his sister. I don't know. And apparently the initiative is going to give tens of millions of dollars in funding for climate tech. Well, that ought to fix it. We'll see. It would surprise me. But I'm a huge fan of fixing the climate disaster in which we are all embedded. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think throwing money at the problem is going to fix it. From SciNews.com, near-Earth comet exploded over North America about 1,500 years ago. Fascinating. From Cardio Workout, the best cardio exercise is to burn fat fast without equipment. How about without working out? That'd be my preferred option. And finally, I'll stop right here with WMUR. The headline reads, Judge issues sentence to former NFL player who admitted to bringing fentanyl to New Hampshire. Well, good. Sometimes I'm a fan of people serving their due at the behalf of the justice program in the United States. Well, there you have it. I appreciate you paying attention. If you're interested, you can like, you can subscribe to this channel. You can become a member for as little as 99 cents a month. But above all, thank you for watching. I appreciate it.